Today I've got a sew along for you. We're going back to Sirena Patterns and we're going to be making the Nilma Pants together. Come join me. I'm Mari with Mari Sews and welcome back. So today I'm going to walk you through how to make the Nilma Pants from Sirena Patterns, and I'm going to put the link to the pattern in the description box below so that way you don't have to go hunting around for it. Okay, so some of the things that you're going to need for this sew along are the pattern. So go and download the pattern. It comes in PDF. You tape it together. When you read through the directions, you'll see that there is a size chart on there. What you want to pay attention to is your waist, your hips, and your waist to ankle measurements. And that's going to determine how long your pants need to be and what size you need to cut. When I was looking at the size chart for myself, my waist, which is 35 inches, fell into the extra large. However, my hips are off the chart. For me personally, I cut an extra large and I added in some extra wiggle space for my hips, and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the rest of the supplies that you're gonna need to put this together. You can sew these pants on either a regular sewing machine or you can do it on a serger. I'm going to make mine on a serger. If you use your sewing machine, just use a zigzag stitch, you'll be okay. Other supplies that you're gonna need are your fabric, your scissors, and then you're going to need either these Wonder Clips or pins, thread, your machine needles. You want to make sure that these are either ballpoint, jersey, something that has that rounded edge on it, and then your seam ripper for the just in case. I had told you that I had to cut the extra large for my waist, but then I had to add on some extra for my hips. And the way I did that was I measured out at the widest part. So you can see right here, this is the extra large line. I had a 4-inch difference to make up. And so what I needed to do was add 1 inch to each front and back pattern. There's going to be 2 front legs and 2 back legs, right? If every piece has an additional 1 inch, that's going to make up the 4 inches for me. So I went out on the hip area. Here's the extra large line. I measured out 1 inch and then I slowly graded it to nothing at the waist, and then I also did that towards the knee area. And I did that on both of my pieces here. So you can see here's my inch right here, graded to nothing at the waist, and then to nothing at around the knee area. You're also going to need your waist piece. I cut the extra large piece. I didn't need to add anything to this. And then you want to make sure that you're cutting this piece right here on the fold. So once you have your pattern pieces all ready to go, lay it out on your fabric and cut them out. Okay, so I have all of my pieces cut out. I've got my front, my back, and I've got my waistband. So I'm gonna put the waistband to the side because we're gonna sew together the pant legs first. We're going to pin the inseams of both of our pieces together. And then we're gonna sew up this seam, do it on both legs. So now that I've got my pants pinned together, I'm gonna take it over to my serger and I'm gonna do a 1/4 inch seam on that. If you don't have a serger, no problem. Just go ahead and run over to your sewing machine and do a zigzag stitch. But remember, the seam allowances here are 1/4 inch. Now that you've got both of those legs sewn up, you need to press those seams. Now that everything's pressed, let's go ahead and match up the crotch seams and sew that together. Okay, now we're gonna take this over to our ironing board and give it a good press. Now that we're done pressing, what we need to do is pin our side legs together and then sew them up. Now you're gonna see me take special care to match up the lines on my sides because I'm working with a plaid fabric. But if you're not doing that, you don't feel the need to use all of these pins. I'll do that to both legs. Now that we've got the pants done, we need to work on the waistband. So let's go ahead and put that together. I accidentally did this next step without filming it, but let me just walk you through the waistband. So what you want to do is you want to fold your waistband so that it is right sides together. Match up those ends, and then you're going to sew along this edge. So if you've sewn this on your sewing machine, make sure that you're pressing your seams open so that way they lay nice and flat. But if you did it on your serger like I did, what you want to do is trim the seam so that way it lays in different direction. Right now, as it is, if I pressed my seam to the same side and then folded it in half, you see how that's going to be on top of each other? That's going to create bulk right there. What you want to do is find the middle marking. So fold your waistband in half. Find where that top middle is and just make a little snip there. Right there. Now don't go snipping through everything that you just sewed through. You just want to snip it a little bit so that way you can flip them to the opposite sides. Okay, so you want to press this to this side and this one to the opposite side. So that way, when they come together, you don't have all of that on top of each other. Okay, so now let's attach our waistband to our pants. So now we're at the waistband, and what I need to do is find the front and the back. The front is shorter than the back, so if you feel like you can't remember which was which, find that crotch seam and then pull both of them out. And you see the shorter edge, that's the front, so I'm going to mark the back here. Now you want to take your waistband and you want to find the seam on it. Mine is right here. And we're going to attach this seam to seam on the back. Find the halfway point. So this right here is the front. I'm going to pinch that. And then I'm going to attach it right here to the front. And my waistband is on the inside. Now, because my pants actually have this plaid design, I am going to be careful to match up the actual design. So I'm going to shift the center just a little bit so that way the fronts can line up. Okay. Now go ahead and find the sides. Pinch that. All right, so now what you want to do is pin all the way around, and then I'm going to serge the edges together, but you can go ahead and do this on your sewing machine. Okay, so now that the waistband is sewn onto our pants, that's the outside, this is the inside. What I want you to do is press this seam flat towards your booty, not towards your waist. You want to press it down. And then if you'd like, you can even top stitch right along this seam right here to catch that and keep it down. Let's go ahead and hem our pants 1/2 inch. Okay, so we are at the finish line. Can you believe that? So what I want you to do is grab your seam gauge and set it to 1/2 inch. So mine is set to 1/2 inch. And then we're going to measure up 1/2 inch on our pants. And pin. And I want you to hem it up 1/2 inch all the way around on both legs. And then we'll take it to the sewing machine and we'll sew. Now that we've got our hem all pinned at 1/2 inch, let's zigzag stitch all the way around on both legs, and then we're gonna press. Now that that's done, let's give it one final press, and then we can wear our pants. There you have it. We are all done with our Nilma pants. It's time to put these on and rock them around town. If you enjoyed this video or learned a thing or two, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification, because that'll let you know the next time that there's a video. Until I see you next time, I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.